Hi everyone. I was out there searching for YouTube videos on why would you want to learn the tarot. I couldn't find any, I couldn't find videos explaining why. It was all learn tarot in a minute and learn tarot easy and hard and whatever was out there. But there was nothing about why you would want to learn to use the tarot. So this little short video is going to explain why you might want to use the tarot. For those of you who have no experience with the tarot, or tarot, however, there's no right or wrong way to pronounce it, they're picture cards. So they have pictures on them, and all of the pictures depict events of the human condition. Okay, they represent everything that goes on in life down here on earth, regarding your mental and your spiritual, your emotional life, problem solving, business people, and you have your different suits, the wands, the cups, the swords, and the pentacles, and they all represent, all together these cards are just pictures of solutions, and they also represent problems that happen. So you can pull cards where this guy looks like he's kind of fighting a battle, and he's on top of things, and so when you learn how to speak the language of these cards, you now have a tool that will not only identify, hey, you've got this problem going on that you need to pay attention to, and you'll look at that card and you'll be like, yes, I do have that problem, but what do I do about it? Well, so then you shuffle up the cards and you pull another card, and it will say, so let's say that you would pull this card, and this guy is battling. He's in some kind of a conflict, and so you would say, yes, I'm having a conflict. What should I do about it? So you have these cards, and you don't look at them, and you randomly shuffle them, and you pull one to see what the solution is. And the interesting thing about these cards is every single card contains the answers to every single situation. Even the card that you pulled to show the problem actually contains the solution within it. So you really wouldn't have to pull another card. You could use this card to say, yes, I have this challenge, but as you can see, this card is saying stand your ground. So if someone is coming at you, you need to stand your ground and you will succeed because he's on top. And number 7, it also uses numerology, means success. And then also you could pull some confirmation. This card is the Page of Pentacles. It's a young person, so maybe this conflict is with a young person. And it also is the card about students and learning, and you can pick up a variety of symbols. So based on what the symbols are in the card and your history with those symbols in the card, you will draw out the meaning of what action you need to take. And then you can also go out there to the future and say, well, let's say that this card said, you would have, let's just pretend that this was an issue with some coworkers. Let's just say you had, you were challenging, and even though you win, you might not, then you got to deal with these people. This might say, go back to school and get an education so maybe you can move into a slightly different area. So let's say that gosh, what do I go to school for? So this is another good thing. You could say, well, should I go to school, let's say, to be a social worker? Would that be in my, and so the cards can go out and they can look out there to see what would your life be like as a social worker, and you can see, if that, whoop, she's upside down. Oh, look at that. Now this is the 9 of Pentacles, and Pentacles are earning money, earning a living, and this woman is well-to-do. Look at her. She's well-dressed. She has a falcon. Back in the day, that was, you had to be wealthy to own those birds. And so, yes, that would be a wealthy career, but notice how she's alone and she doesn't, really look that happy. So now she's surrounded in her money, but she's, kind of looking like she's not real happy. So maybe there's something else going on in your life where it's not about the money. And so these cards just take you on a journey. And so maybe you would ask, gee, if it's not about the money, what would bring me, I'm having these conflicts with these coworkers, is this about a happiness factor? Is there something going on with me that's preventing me from being happy and driving people away from me? And of course you get the magician now, and when you study and learn a little bit about this card, he can be manipulating. So then you think the cards might be showing you a part of your side, gee, am I manipulating him? Is it my way or the highway? Is it my views? Am I, and so then it makes you reflect inside and say, well, what would happen if I were to change and build more compassion and listen to people and not be so attached to my views? What would be the outcome then? And so then they can kind of take you on this journey. This is the emotional, cups are the emotional, and that means happy. And you see how they were now with somebody in a family. So instead of being rich and alone, you would be happy and draw people into you and a family, and people would like to be around you. So these cards are a tool to enhance your life, and all they are is pictures on a card that depicts every scenario of human life. And so if you think of it on that level, there's nothing mystical and magical about it. And everyone's like, well, you happen to pick like the right card at the right time. But when you think about it, there's only 78 cards, and there's more than 78 things that happen in this life. So every card does have the solution in it for, all the answers. So it triggers creativity. I personally believe everyone should learn to use these cards, because they are so valuable when you have a crisis in your life and you just need some guidance. And these cards will guide you through. So it started out, with this conflict with these coworkers, and then it turned out that, it ended up that, yeah, if you went to school to become a social worker, you'd have a lot of money, but you'd be alone because there was something else going on. And so then it causes you to reflect and grow. And my belief is that we should always look at ourselves, and every day, look back and say, what can I do to improve myself? How can I every day be better and learn from my past and learn from the world around me and how people interact? How can I be a better me every single day? Thank you for listening.